Hello, welcome to OJ Studios. Please enjoy this week's chapter of Punishment 2, Return of Amanda, by Olivia Julius. Part 1. July. I was awakened with a knock at my bedroom door. I moaned a little as I rolled over in my bed. It was summer vacation, and I wasn't used to being awake this early in the morning. There were 3 more knocks on my door, causing me to get a little more irritated. Today is my birthday, but today is also not the day that I want to be bothered by my parents for sleeping in. Go away! I yelled out to whoever was behind the door. I put a pillow over my head, hoping to ignore them a little more. That's no way to treat your future girlfriend. I heard a voice call out on the other side. I shot up from my bed and sat on the edge. I knew that voice. He's not my boyfriend. I heard another familiar voice yell out. Brittany? I asked questionably. I slowly got up from my bed and slowly walked to my bedroom door. I wasn't sure if I should take off the Care Bear nightgown that I got yesterday from Mom and Dad that I was wearing or not. Who else would it be? I heard her ask. I opened the door slowly and cautiously, bracing myself for what might be on the other side. Just when I put my guard down, I was tackled by Blur. I lost my balance of the sudden weight of my friend and fell to the ground with Brittany pinning me under her. Happy birthday! She screamed. Thanks! I said, trying to catch my breath from the sudden surprise of Brittany in my room. I looked over to my door to see Gracie standing in the door laughing. Next to her was Emily, also laughing as she held a plastic bag. Did we surprise you? Brittany asked. Yeah, I said, pushing her off me. What are you doing here in Indianapolis? I asked, looking at both Brittany and Emily. Your parents invited us, Emily said, shrugging. They told us to keep quiet so we can surprise you, Brittany said as she helped me up. But my birthday party was last week, I said, now fully recovered from getting tackled by Brittany. Mom should have invited you to that instead. You wouldn't have wanted to be Amanda during your birthday party though, Gracie said. And who says I'll be Amanda now? I asked. Emily handed me the bag that she was holding. Your mom told us you still like to dress as Amanda in private, Emily said. Even though you won't admit it. I opened the bag and saw a black dress inside. I pulled it out of the bag and held it up in front of me. Put it on and meet us downstairs, Brittany said. We're taking you somewhere nice for your birthday party. The girls all left my room, shutting my door. I looked at the dress and wondered if I was ready to be wearing this in Indianapolis, where there was a good chance that we might run into someone I know. Taking a deep breath, I decided to embrace the unexpected turn of events and slipped into the black dress. It felt smooth against my skin, and as I looked at myself in the mirror, a sense of empowerment washed over me. The familiar yet seldom explored persona of Amanda resurfaced, and I felt a surge of confidence. Part 2. December. The snow continued to fall as I followed Gracie into Mom's salon. I looked at her sympathetically. She was wearing her winter coat around her for warmth, but she was also wearing the middle school's uniform skirt, and a pair of tights were covering her legs. We had to walk a half of a mile through the snowy afternoon right after school got dismissed for Christmas break. No more school until January 4th at least. Gracie's footsteps echoed in the quiet salon as we entered. The warmth inside was a welcome relief from the chilly winter air. Mom was busy attending to a customer at one of the styling stations, her hands moving skillfully as she snipped away at the lady's hair with precision. I followed Gracie to the waiting area, where we took a seat on the plush, leather chairs. The soft hum of blow dryers and the occasional laughter of clients filled the air. Gracie sighed as she rubbed her legs for warmth. "Be glad you're not wearing a girl's uniform now," Gracie whispered while looking up at me. I gave Gracie a small, understanding smile. "I can imagine it's not the most comfortable outfit in this weather." Gracie nodded, her nose a little rosy from the cold. "Tell me about it. It's like the school doesn't realize winter exists." I chuckled, understanding her sentiment. The school uniform, especially the skirt, didn't seem designed with the harsh winter weather in mind. Her thick winter tights didn't do much to keep the cold out. Mom, having noticed us, signaled that she would be with us shortly. As we waited, Gracie glanced around the salon, observing the different hairstyles and colors. "Your mom is really talented," she remarked, her eyes following the intricate dance of scissors and combs. "Yeah, she's been running this place for as long as I can remember," I replied, proud of my mom's skill and dedication to her craft. After a while, Mom finished with her customer and approached us, wearing a warm smile. Gracie chuckled, a faint glimmer of humor in her eyes. "So, are you two ready to donate your hair today?" Mom asked, looking at both of us. I looked over at Gracie, who smiled up at Mom. She had been growing her hair out for the past 3 years so she could donate it to cancer patients who lost their hair due to treatment. I could tell that she was thinking about her sister Jessica at that moment. She had died at the age of 16 and Gracie was doing this for her. There was of course a long delay, in the form of me when I cut her hair due to a stupid dare. This haircut represents the end of a very long punishment. One that started with cutting Gracie's hair, that fateful day in school. This punishment has allowed me to meet people that I would have never met, or things that I never thought that I would have to wear and see the world from another's perspective. This truly was the hardest taught lesson of my life. Gracie got into the chair first. Mom looked over her hair and started to brush it out. "I wish your parents could have been here," Mom said. "Yeah, they texted me earlier saying that they were snowed in," Gracie said, shrugging. "Well, we will make this moment special, still don't worry," Mom said, patting Gracie on the shoulder. Mom put Gracie's hair into a ponytail, she then measured where 10 inches was. She then put another ponytail where the 10-inch mark was, making sure that Gracie was ready. Mom snipped the hair. Mom handed Gracie the long blonde hair and Gracie held it up for me to take a photo of it. I can't be too sure, but I believe I heard her gently whisper, "This one is for you, Jessica." Gracie looked in the mirror and examined her hair, it was now shoulder length as it danced around her face. "This is a better haircut than Adam gave me," Gracie said. She then looked over to me and winked. Once Gracie got up from her seat, Mom looked over at me. "Okay Adam, you're up," she said, waving me over. I took a deep breath as I settled into the styling chair, glancing at myself in the mirror. Mom draped the protective cloth around my shoulders, her hands gentle yet firm. Gracie watched with a mischievous grin, undoubtedly remembering the dare that led to the unexpected haircut 3 years ago. Yesterday, I told Mom and Dad that I wanted my hair shoulder length just like how Gracie will have hers. I want to continue to grow out my hair and donate it like Gracie does. After all these years of growing my hair out, I can't imagine going back to having a buzz cut. Or even a short boyish haircut. Also, yesterday I was given a new pack of boxers for boys. I wore a pair just to try them on, and instantly I wasn't happy with them. I was so used to wearing the girly underwear that I decided not to switch, at least not right away anyways. Mom combed through my hair, her fingers deftly working through the strands. As she gathered my hair into a ponytail, I couldn't help but feel a sense of closure. This haircut symbolized the end of a punishment, a year of learning and growth. The punishment had been unconventional, but it had shaped me in ways I hadn't anticipated. Gracie snapped a quick picture of my hair before the first snip. Mom started to close the scissors around my hair, but instead I yelled for her to stop. "What is it?" Mom asked, setting down the scissors. I looked at Mom in the mirror, and then at Gracie. "Gracie should be the one who cuts my hair," I said with a sigh. "After all, this punishment started when I cut her hair. It's only fair." Mom looked at me and then at Gracie, who slowly walked over to me. "Are you sure?" she asked. I'm sure, I said, nodding my head. Gracie picked up the scissors and I looked through the mirror as Mom showed her where to cut. I closed my eyes and heard a snipping sound and felt the white of my long hair disappear. Mom handed me the severed locks, and I held them, marveling at the weight of the hair that had been with me through the past 3 years. The symbolism wasn't lost on me, and I couldn't help but smile at the thought of ending a punishment and starting, maybe, a new tradition. Mom took a photo of the two of us holding our severed ponytails side by side, a visual representation of the journey we had been through together. Gracie's eyes sparkled with a mix of nostalgia and triumph as we posed for the photo. "Wow, you both look amazing!" Mom exclaimed, admiration in her eyes. "And here's to new beginnings!" I couldn't help but feel a sense of liberation as I ran my fingers through my newly shortened hair. The weight lifted off my shoulders both literally and metaphorically. Gracie grinned at me, and I couldn't be more grateful for her understanding and forgiveness. As we left the salon, a fresh layer of snow covered the ground, creating a serene winter landscape. Gracie and I walked side by side, our steps lighter, and the air filled with a shared sense of renewal. "So, what's the plan now, Adam?" Gracie asked, brushing off a snowflake from her coat. "I say we celebrate," I replied with a smirk. "This calls for a hot chocolate or something, don't you think?" Gracie laughed, and we headed towards a nearby cafe, ready to embrace the next chapter, one where haircuts symbolize growth, forgiveness, and the enduring bond of friendship. The snow continued to fall, but in that moment, everything felt warm and full of possibilities. This is the end of the longest and hardest taught lesson of my life, but now it was the start of something bigger.
Part 3. 9 years later. The morning sun streamed through the curtains, casting a warm glow on the prep room at the local church. Today was the day I had been waiting for with a mix of excitement and nervous anticipation. It was my wedding day. I looked at the mirror that was hanging on the wall and tidied up my short hair and my still growing beard. I stopped growing my hair out and donating it when I graduated high school. Instead, I watched as Gracie, Emily, and Brittany all continued the tradition. Being Amanda also faded from me. It was fun to dress as a girl while I was younger, but soon it became more of a memory, a chapter of my life that held sentimental value. I couldn't help but smile as I glanced at the clock, realizing that the moment was soon to arrive. Today, I will marry the love of my life, my best friend, and my confidant. The journey to this day had been filled with laughter, shared dreams, and a few challenges that only strengthened our bond. Now, as I stand here in the church, the reality of the day ahead began to sink in. I had to keep reminding myself that I am marrying the girl that I love more than anyone. Brittany is the love of my life, the girl that I want to spend forever with, and today will be the day that she will become Mrs. Brittany Trenton. My two groomsmen sat on a couch on the far side of the room. They were both drinking what they promised would be their one and only beer before the ceremony. We were all still underaged. I am only 19 and the two groomsmen were 18, so they tried not to get caught. The only one that wasn't underaged was my best man Ryan, who just turned 21. Hint how they got the drinks in the first place. I couldn't drink with them though. I was too busy looking at myself in the mirror. I was wondering if this was going too fast. After I graduated from high school, I moved to Missouri to attend the University of Missouri. Both Brittany and I got accepted there, and I was going to get my teaching degree while Brittany was going to get her master's in accounting. We decided to save on rent and get a small 2-bedroom apartment together just off campus. Our small apartment, filled with mismatched furniture and a distinct college vibe, quickly transformed into a home. We navigated the challenges of independent living, from grocery shopping to sharing chores, with the same ease we faced any obstacle, together. The laughter and late-night study sessions, the shared meals, and whispered conversations, all became the foundation of a relationship that blossomed beyond the ordinary. After a month, we decided that instead of living in 2 rooms that we would both stay in the master bedroom and use the other room as a study area. After another 4 months, Brittany gave me the news that I had been dreading. She was late on her period, and when she took a pregnancy test, it showed she was pregnant. The news hit us like a tidal wave, shaking the foundations of our college life. Brittany and I sat on the worn-out couch in our living room, absorbing the reality of what the pregnancy test had revealed. The air in the room became heavy with a mix of emotions, fear, excitement, and uncertainty. As we grappled with the unexpected news, our conversations shifted from college assignments and weekend plans to discussions about the future, parenting, and the responsibilities that awaited us. It was a turning point that demanded a level of maturity beyond our years. Brittany's hand found mine, and we faced the challenge together. We decided that, despite the timing, we were ready to embrace the journey of parenthood. Our little apartment, once a haven for college adventures, became a place of planning and preparation. We transformed the spare room back into a bedroom, preparing for the arrival of our child. Late-night study sessions turned into late-night parenting research, and our laughter now echoed with the joy and trepidation of impending parenthood. There was just one thing missing. I took Brittany out to our favorite restaurant. As the aroma of our favorite dishes wafted through the air, I looked into Brittany's eyes, my heart pounding with a mix of nerves and excitement. The restaurant, with its cozy ambience, had been witness to countless dates, late-night conversations, and now, it would hold a moment that would forever change our lives. I took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the ring in my pocket. With a gentle smile, I reached for Brittany's hand, capturing her attention. "Brittany," I began, my voice filled with sincerity, "from the moment we embarked on this journey together, navigating the challenges of college and now facing the prospect of parenthood, I've known that you're my partner in every sense of the word." Her eyes sparkled with a mixture of emotions as I continued, "You've been my confidant, my support, and the love of my life. Today, as we stand on the brink of a new chapter, I can't imagine a more perfect moment to ask you this." I lowered to one knee, revealing the ring. Brittany gasped, her hand covering her mouth in surprise. The patrons of the restaurant seemed to fade into the background as I spoke the words I had rehearsed 100 times in my mind. "Brittany, will you marry me?" The seconds that followed felt like an eternity, but then her eyes welled up with tears, and a radiant smile spread across her face. "Yes, 1,000 times yes," she exclaimed, her joy echoing in the restaurant. As I slid the ring onto her finger, the room erupted in applause, and the evening transformed into a celebration of love and new beginnings. Our journey, marked by laughter, challenges, and now an engagement, continued to unfold, promising a future filled with shared dreams, a growing family, and a love that had stood the test of time. As Brittany's pregnancy progressed with our new daughter, our excitement for both the upcoming wedding and the arrival of our child intensified. We found ourselves navigating the dual joy of planning a wedding and preparing for parenthood simultaneously. Brittany, with her growing belly, glowed with a radiant beauty that seemed to amplify with each passing day. We decided on a small, intimate ceremony with close friends and family to celebrate our love and the impending arrival of our little one. I heard a knock on the door awaking me from my thoughts. Ryan, my best man, stopped what he was doing and walked over to the door and opened it. I looked past him and saw Emily standing there next to the door frame. She was already wearing her pastel pink maid of honor dress. Her hair was done up beautifully. "Emily? What are you doing here?" I asked. "Can we have a minute?" Emily said, looking over at me. I looked over to my groomsmen and my best man, and they all left the room without saying anything, leaving Emily and I alone. As the door closed behind my groomsmen, a sense of curiosity and concern lingered in the air. Emily fidgeted with the edge of her dress, avoiding eye contact for a moment. I could sense that something important was on her mind. "Is everything okay, Emily?" I asked, my smile now replaced with a mild sense of worry. Emily walked over to me and adjusted my tie. "I can't believe today is the day, can you?" she asked. I chuckled nervously. "No, it feels surreal. I've been waiting for this day, but now that it's here, it's like time is moving too quickly." "I agree," she said. I looked at her. She has come a long way since the first time I saw her in the mall with Rhea. She is also attending the University of Missouri. She is president of the campus's LGBTQ+ club, and in a few more months she will be undergoing surgery for her gender reassignment surgery. Both Brittany and I are thrilled to watch her become who she is. "Can you believe all this started in the 4th grade?" Emily asked. I chuckled a little, thinking back at the dare and cutting Gracie's hair. The punishment, and then the 3 Easter vacations that I spent as a girl. If it wasn't for that stupid dare, I wouldn't have met Brittany, or Emily. And none of this would have ever come to be. In a way, Amanda is probably the best thing that has ever happened to me. There was a knock at the door and Ryan yelled out to me on the other side. "Time to get to the sanctuary," he yelled out. "Be right there," I replied. I looked back at Emily, who looked back at me. "Good luck," she said before kissing me lightly on the cheek. "Thanks, Emily," I replied, appreciating the moment of support. As Emily left the room, a surge of emotions welled up inside me. The journey from 4th grade dares to this moment had been an incredible adventure, one that had shaped not just my life but also the lives of those around me. I took a final glance in the mirror, straightened my tie, and made my way to the sanctuary. The music started playing, and the anticipation in the air was palpable. As I stood at the altar, I couldn't help but reflect on the winding path that led me here, a path marked by laughter, love, and unexpected twists of fate. The church doors opened, revealing Brittany in her stunning wedding gown, walking down the aisle with grace and beauty. Her eyes locked onto mine, and in that moment, the world around us faded away. The love and support of our friends and family surrounded us, creating a cocoon of warmth and joy. The ceremony unfolded seamlessly, vows exchanged, promises made, and before I knew it, we were pronounced husband and wife. The cheers and applause filled the sanctuary as we shared our first kiss as a married couple. As we exited the church, hand in hand, the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow on the beginning of our journey as husband and wife. Our friends and family gathered around, showering us with love and congratulations. Part 4. 11 years later. My office door opened, unleashing the loud, thunderous boom of people talking outside my office. I looked up to see Janet, the school's secretary, looking back at me. "What is it?" I asked, a little annoyed. With 2 days before Easter vacation, I had more work than I had time. It didn't help that there was going to be a literal shit show going to happen in the next 20 minutes. "Sorry, Haley's parents just arrived, what do you want me to do?" she asked. "Take them to go see Haley. Tell them to meet me in the conference room in 20 minutes. Janet nodded her head and closed the office door behind her. I put my hands in my head. I was in damage control. My son Justin, my youngest kid, just got caught picking on a newly out transgender girl in his class. As the elementary school's principal, and Justin's dad, I feel like I got hit with a double whammy. My daughter, Candace, wasn't this worrisome when she attended elementary here. She seemed to sail by easily with straight A's on her report cards. Justin, on the other hand, seemed to have a rocky time at school. As I took a deep breath to compose myself, I couldn't shake off the mix of frustration and disappointment. The clock on my desk ticked away, amplifying the tension in the room. I couldn't help but wonder if this was what my dad felt when I cut Gracie's hair when I was Justin's age. Moments later, the door swung open, revealing my wife, Brittany, rushing into the office with a worried expression. "What's going on, Adam?" Janet called me and she mentioned something about Haley's parents and a meeting, Brittany said, concern etched across her face. I sighed and motioned for her to sit down. Justin got into trouble at school today. He was picking on a girl in his class, and now Haley's parents are here for a meeting. We need to address this together. "Where is Justin?" Brittany asked. "In the seclusion area." Brittany's face contorted with a mix of concern and disappointment. "I can't believe it. Justin knows better than that," she muttered as she took a seat. "Yeah, I know," I whispered. "So, what do we do now?" Brittany asked. "Well, we have a meeting with Haley's parents in 15 minutes. Before we go into the meeting, we can talk to Justin. But if everything Haley said is true, it's going to be hard to defend him." "So, what are we going to do?" Brittany asked, folding her arms. I looked at her for a moment, and then I smiled. "I know exactly what we're going to do," I replied. I leaned back smiling, knowing that my childhood punishment was soon going to become full circle.